Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome on back to my channel. Welcome back to each and every one of you. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic day today. Today I'm going to be showing you guys a new build that I've been working on. This is another build idea that I've had since I hit level 40, and I've just been kind of tweaking it and perfecting it over the last like 35 chaos tiers or whatever. But I finally feel like it's in a really good spot to show you guys what I've been working on. So the whole point of this build is to be focused around high risk, high reward. So if you don't like that playstyle, if you don't like the glass cannon type of playstyle, where you're always on the brink of death, you have to be very cautious on how you play, you may not like this build. But if that sounds fun, if that sounds like a really cool playstyle to have, this might actually be the one for you. So as you can see from the montage at the beginning of the video here, this build is insane for damage, especially with the melee damage we've got going on. This build is incredible for it. And the name of this build that I have deemed it is Dark Sacrifice. I named it that because you are always sacrificing your health and your shields in order to gain a ton more damage. You are always on the brink of death. So it does kind of fit, plus we're using a bunch of dark magic, so we're trying to use that dark magic efficiency to get our health up and stuff like that. So this is the Dark Sacrifice build. So now let me go ahead and show you guys some of what we're working with here. Alright, so the gear that we're using for this build is almost identical to the previous build that I did with the Ruby. The only difference really is some of the items, like I'm using a different Buffmeister, and my skill tree is different. So if you have the items from the last build, you can actually, you're going to be pretty well off for this one as well. The only difference is that we're using a Gluttony instead of the Ruby. Although the Ruby, the Sword Explosion, the Heckwaiter, a bunch of other guns, a lot of guns work with this build. But the main one that we're focusing on, the main one that we're going to be using for it, this is a primarily Gluttony-focused build here. So again, we're using the same peg leg with peg leg and echo on there. Echo is a must for this build, by the way. It hits for so much damage. I'll even show you guys on screen some of the echo hits that I get with this are in the millions. It's kind of insane. So then we're using the same Shark's Bane ring, the same mood ring over here. This one actually got a nerf recently, so now it's while ward is not full, the effects are increased by only 33%. So that's another difference from the last build, is the ring here got nerfed. We are using a different armor set though. So this class armor here has all damage increase, gun critical hit chance, and gun damage. And the legendary effect is not super useful here, but hey, I mean, if you use fire, then there you go. It's a benefit, you know. It was what I had. Like I said in the last build, I've actually had a very difficult time trying to get class armors for my class. So getting a Stabbomancer spell shot or even a spell shot Stabbomancer is incredibly difficult for me. So the shield that we're going to be using is a Volatile Cursed Wit. I got this one recently, and I think it's a good one. I just wish I didn't get the Absorb Bullets as ammo. I wish I got a fire rate boost or something like that. I wish I got a different attribute down there in the bottom, but it's a Volatile Cursed Wit. I'll take it. So then our amulet is a Stabbomancer gun damage amulet, which once again is the same one from the last build. I wish I got better attributes on there and a better legendary effect, but hey, it works because it's super hard to find a gun damage one in my class. We're also using a Chaotic Buffmeister of Agony here. This one is a Frost one. So we're using Zap and Bonk, so that way we get the extra spell damage, which will, we're using magic bullets in this build as well, so we are going to be taking that extra spell damage, and it's going to be giving us extra gun damage, so we're kind of getting both in that one set there. And we're using Bonk because we are using our Echo a lot, so we want to maximize our Echo hits with an extra bit of melee damage. That's what Bonk does, is like extra melee damage. So the armor and weapons that we're using, or the gear and weapons that we are wearing in this build, are pretty much the same as the last one, except I believe the only difference is that we are using a different shield, which is pretty much the same one, just volatile. We're using a different armor set, and we're using a different spell. We're using a different Buffmeister. So now let's go look at the skills. So the skills that we're using is where the real magic is happening and where the real change in this build is. So we are still using From the Shadows, but we've got 9 out of 5 for Arsenal. We've got 5 out of 5 for Potent Poisons, 3 out of 3 for Exploit Their Weaknesses. So then we go all the way down to here to Nimble Fingers, where we have 4 out of 3 for this one as well. So we get a huge fire rate boost and spell damage boost. We get a boost of spell damage. So then we are also getting 5 out of 5 for sneak attack. This one is not the greatest one to get, but we only use it to get down lower in the tree. So we're getting the 15% critical hit damage, which is helpful, but you could honestly probably try to do for contagion as well. That might actually be another one to go for. But yeah, we're putting it into sneak attack right now just for the extra crit damage. We've also got 1,000 cuts with 5 out of 5 here, so we get extra critical hit damage and damage dealt off of critical hits, which we're using from the shadows, so we are constantly getting grits. It's great. And then we're getting the capstone here for the 150% melee damage. So capstone here, that's awesome. Then we're going to magic bullets for 3 out of 3, so we get an extra 45% of our spell damage is added as gun damage. So all of our spell damage boosts that we're getting from our Buffmeister or any skills over here on the left-hand side of the Stabbomancer tree, it's going to be added as gun damage as well. We're getting the reload speed buff here. We don't need spell critical hit chance because we're only using a Buffmeister, but if you did want to swap out the Buffmeister for something else, then you could probably swap out the reload speed buff for this one here, but because we're using the Gluttony, that extra reload speed allows us to throw the weapon even faster, so kind of again maximizing the damage output. We're then just putting 2 points into just warming up because we don't really shoot a lot with this one. You do if you use other guns, but with the Gluttony, you're mostly just trying to throw out the weapon. So we didn't put a lot of points into fire rate boosts. We put them into Font of Mana for the action, skill, and spell cooldown. We got 1 point in glass cannon. This is another part of why I say it's high risk, high reward. So we've got the extra 30% spell damage, but our reward does not regen automatically. What this means is that the Cursed Wit here, whenever your shield is depleted, you gain that damage reduction, and you get increased damage dealt to nearby enemies by 100%, which basically means that if your shield does not regen, the Cursed Wit effect does not leave you. So you're getting a constant double damage with the Cursed Wit on there. The only thing I will warn you guys about is that I was informed that the Cursed Wit effect here for that 100% increased damage, it does not travel between areas. So if you're going between Chaos Chamber rooms, you might have to unequip and re-equip the Cursed Wit, or if you're traveling between boss chambers, you might have to unequip and re-equip, or I would save and quit between boss attempts and stuff like that, just to make sure that it reapplies that Cursed Wit effect whenever your shield is drained. So until that gets fixed, that's a little warning for you guys. So once again, we are using glass cannon to get extra damage there, and then we're just getting 1 point into high thread count, so that way we can get the increased spell weaving stacks, which is very helpful because that's extra spell damage, which means extra gun damage. So we're not actually capstoning or going for any of the things down here for like double nod or serve the thread, one shot, one kill. We're not doing any of those. We're not actually capstoning the spell shot tree here. We're just going down to high thread count as well. Alright, so now for the hero stats, they're actually identical to the last build. If you know about the last build, they're identical here. We did not change them. I don't really change these much. I know I probably should be re-rolling both of them and kind of building it anew for each thing, but I like what I've got going on, and I just want to see how well the build runs with what we have. So if you want to play around with these and respec, given what you think would be better for this build, you are more than welcome to. So currently we've got 55% Stabbomancer power, so our From the Shadows has 55% extra duration. We have 15% extra spell weaving per stack, which isn't the highest, but if you wanted to swap out one of the items we have for an extra spell shot power, then you can totally do that as well to maximize your spell damage, which will then give you, again, gun damage. So loot luck is the same. Critical hit chance is a 10.5% chance, which with all of those extra chances over there you can see. And our dark magic is not the greatest, but it could be better. Again, if you get better attributes on your items, like instead of getting friggin' loot luck like I got, then you could potentially increase your dark magic efficiency. So now for the myth rank, it is once again the exact same. I haven't spent any points in here. So if you guys want to see what the myth rank is, I will slowly hover over each quadrant so you guys can actually see the benefits that we are getting from each quadrant here. I'm not super high level, I have not maxed it out yet, but those are the benefits that we are getting from our myth rank. And that's pretty much it. That is the entire build. Again, it's very, very similar to the last one that we made. I swapped a few pieces of gear around, then I put on a new weapon, and I swapped the skill tree around to be more in line with what I wanted it to be like, more glass cannon. So now I'm going to go show you guys what this build can actually accomplish here. Let's go fight Parasite, and let's go see how much we can damage him. Alright, so now we're going to test out our build against Parasite to kind of give you guys an example of what this build can do. So we're going to build up our spell weaving stacks here. And we're going to go drop on it, making sure we don't lose any stacks on the way down. We're going to land here, let him hit us, get that damage off. And this is where we just kind of get a bonk off, and we just let it fly. And then, pink, all that damage, and he's dead. Yep, so that is the kind of damage that you can do against Parasite, as just an example. That was how quick he is. So I'm going to do it one more time to show you that that was not a fluke, and to see if we can get a good glimpse of the echo numbers down there as well. So I'm going to see if we can get a good echo hit off and see what numbers we get on there as well. Let's just burn his health away, and then bunk. Oh, the one hit? How much was that? How much did we get on the one hit there? I don't think... I see a 69,000 damage. Nice. Where's the echo? There's the echo. It's hard to see in there, but that's a 3 million echo hit right there to finish off his entire last health bar. There you go. That's the kind of damage you can get with an echo hit on this build. So that is this build for you guys. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for hanging out. If you guys did enjoy the video, leave a like on it and subscribe if you guys are new as well. The likes help me out greatly with the YouTube algorithm. And if you don't want to miss out on any future videos for this game or Outriders or any other videos that I make, then go ahead and click that notification bell button as well. If you guys are new here and you guys really do enjoy my presence, my style, and everything like that, you guys want to support my channel in the best way, then you guys can go down into the description and find the Patreon link. The Patreon link allows you to support the channel for as little as $5 a month or more if you guys really like my style. On top of that, we do actually have a merch link down there as well if you guys want to go buy some awesome Mr. J merch. So the merch link will be in the description down below as well. But once again, guys, thank you very much for hanging out. Thank you very much for stopping by, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.